Who's the culprit? Who's the victim? It's hard to call. Seems that culprits are victims of someone else. So they're all victims of each other. You never know who's behind what part of it. It's not like a global conspiracy behind every evil thing. Men, women, personal people with personal agendas. Some tragedy or trauma in their life led them on a crusade this way. Some of these things affect us all, especially when they become a human thing, a medical thing like cancer. You have all the money in the world, but you're still dying, and you want to know why, and you will spend every dime to find out. The things that people go through and the lengths they go to stay alive sometimes cost other people their lives. As in the case of organs, like the one that was taken from me, the appendix. They were after my tonsils, but I wouldn't give them up. The appendix is an organ you never hear mentioned. You hear every other organ mentioned: the liver, the kidney, the spleen, everything mentioned. But the appendix, heart, lungs, fingers, toes, every other part of your anatomy, nasal, respiratory, everything but the appendix. Now I want you to think for a minute about an organ called the appendix. You know the role that an appendix plays in a book. And you know that it's thought of as unnecessary. Few of us ever even read it, but it's there in every book. Do you know what's in an appendix? All the vital information about the book were in the same way with your appendix. Now, they cut mine out long time ago before today's research, so they can claim, hey, we didn't know. Butchering on people is primitive. Cutting them with knives is primitive. Sewing them up with needles and thread, this is barbaric and ancient primitive. But this is your current method of medicine. You think you're advanced? Let's get back to the appendix. It is an important organ. It is in all organs. Your body's a chemical producing factory. All organs produce other chemicals and stuff. So what is going on now is the appendix produces chemicals too. A chemical you may never know if it's cut out. A chemical that turns infection in foreign bodies into harmless body waste and get out of it. It is the purifier. You see all these animated movies about antibodies work and how they attach on, and they do this and they do that and they carry the things out. It do not show you the correct path of these things that goes through the appendix. All right? Before it becomes a waste or whatever. That's why it's positioned to where it is, down low. Okay? It serves a vital function. It is one of the most important organs in your body. And just like every other important organ, without it, you may die. Like I may die from infections going to other areas, being rerouted because my pathways were cut off to my appendix. And even if they were open, there's nothing there. All right, the infection would just pour into an open hole or whatever it is they placed there to fill that hole. See, they put something there to fill the hole where it was. And I don't know what it is, but I can still feel it. And it's still there. And I've never thought about it but a couple of times into this moment. I'm going to investigate this, but your appendix, cutting organs out, you got to understand that this is an important thing to people who want to live. An organ that produces a chemical that turns body weight, that turns infections and poisons and all diseases into harmless waste. We need that. So they started yanking it out, studying this organ, dissecting it, seeing how it worked, analyzing every aspect of it, and they were yanking them out of people. Sometimes I think they were giving people stuff just to overload their system where their appendix will become inflated and they would have to come to them to cut it out. It seems like something really big. I'm like, who would have control of people like that? Me knowing people and their decency, there is no damn way you could control them all like that, because there are decent people in between that will not fold and can't be bribed. It has to be something deeper than that. The appendix continued. The appendix is just a clue, a hint of these organs. Like I said, people are deteriorating. Their DNA doesn't have consistency. They've been recycled. We don't want to go into that. You can check the time notes to get some idea of what that's about. But people aren't what they should be. They aren't. Some people shouldn't even be here now. That might sound cruel until you get the facts, but let's get down on their attempt to stay alive, these zombies, these walking dead, these deteriorating, you might as well the equivalent of flesh-eating monsters, okay? And where do you think they get these new drugs from? They're only things that they are reverse engineering and reproducing synthetics of some real chemical. You're the lab rat, you're the guinea pig. What you gonna do? Now we loop back to the medical conspiracy, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Erroneous, confused, and mistaken body parts and facts. All right. We must go over this again so we keep them dancing, keep them up off of us. Okay. Erroneous, non-existent. All right. Fake. Does not exist. Okay, let's go over these body parts and these facts. First of all, there is no such thing, no body part called the back. Lived all these generations, thousands of years, and been passed the insanity on to your children. There is no body part called the back. All right? There are muscles and some organs and all kinds of things, including the spine back there. There is no back. There is no part of it called the back. There is no body part called the chest. All right? Inside, behind there are muscles and bones and organs like lungs and heart. There is no chest. There is no muscle called the thigh. All right? There are no such body part called the fucking thigh. So those thighs are groups of other muscles with real names. And you know there's no such body part called the ass or the booty. But I have to stick this in there. You know, you don't understand. Everyone isn't as smart as you. Okay? Let me say, the buttocks, which means there's a butt. No, there's a buttocks. Okay? There's no body part called the butt or the ass or the booty. I'm sticking that in to show you how ridiculous these other things is, so that you can say, I knew that. You should have knew all these other things, because it's just as ridiculous. All right? There is no body part called the leg. There are groups of muscles and all kinds of stuff down there. It's not a thing called the leg. You need to learn it in its parts, and they all work different, so you know how you work. And you know what's coming next. There is no body part called the arm. You won't look in a medical book and see a body part called the arm. You'll see an arrow off to the side trying to tell you that all these things together are something called the arm. No. There's supposed to be a bunch of lines coming from there in the real medical book that you find where all the muscles and parts have their real names. Well, they're not even their real names. They're the names these people gave them. We'll get into that in another note. There is no body part called the face. All right? There is no body part called the face. Your eyes are there, your nose is there, your mouth, and so there's all kinds of muscles. You can refer to them as facial muscles, but why not just refer to them by their damn name? Okay? There is no muscle called the cheek. There's no such thing as cheeks. Not on your butt or on your head. There's nothing called the head, actually. All right? It's a cranium full of organs. Okay? There is no body part called the neck. You have valuable stuff running up through there and not know the neck gives you the impression you have this one tube going up your neck. No, you have a whole bunch of things like a Slurpee machine when you open it up. Got a bunch of tubes and a bunch of fluids running up down through there. That is wrong. That's making you insane thinking of that as your neck. It's not one piece, not two, not three, nor four. And they got you thinking it's one thing. That's why you can't work it. That's why you're always having neck problems. Because the neck's in your mind. It's not out here. Okay? There is no body organ called the ear. Okay? This is a group of organs that work together. You've seen them. What is the ear? That fleshy part on the outside that doesn't do much of nothing? It gives you the impression that that piece of meat outside of your head is your ear, and that's what you hear with. No, that thing does nothing. It's a cone for sound, a sound chamber tunnel leading to the real things that do the hearing, the real group of organs that do the hearing. There's no ear. Wow, look where this is going. Yeah, look. And we already told you, there's no head. The cranium is full of organs. Muscles are organs. All right? They function just like every other organ, full of blood and fluids and stuff, and dispense blood and fluids. All right? They're not when they teach you the muscle concept, they're not teaching you that it's the same as a kidney. You think your muscles are different than your liver. It's not. Just because there's more of them, because more of them than anything, and you're being taught to take them for granted or look at them as different, and they're more of those organs than any other organ. And your bones aren't made of rock, cement, or something. That doesn't sound right? Listen, you know that? Then I'm going to back it up and say what I was going to say. Your bones are alive. They're not dead. The picture being drawn to you is of some dead skeleton. Your bones are alive, living, and growing. They heal when they're broken, like your skin. Nothing dead can do that. Nothing dead can heal itself. Your bones are alive. They're not some hard thing like China. You think your bones are China, okay? You think there's some kind of glass or substance that is rigid and dead. No, they're alive, just like your skin and the rest of you, alive, breathing. Blood flows through your bones. That's why it heals itself. That's why it grows. Bones are alive. I've never seen them teach you your bones were alive. Bones have always been dead, and a symbol of dead, and a symbol of death. Your bones are alive. Why do you have fingernails and toenails? I'm sticking this in because they could jump back through time and print a book and put all this in and say, hey, we knew that already. I found that out to be a fact. But that's a whole different note. They can backdate something. They're good at that. Listening to my notes and then saying they wrote this 5 years ago. So I'm sticking this in. Why do you have fingernails and toenails? Mr. Doctor, that I had to teach why you had eyebrows, but you claiming you already knew? Tell the people why they have fingernails and toenails and what they're for. Yeah, we're going to leave that one just so you know better. Okay. More questions. How many parts do you have? How many bones you have? And teeth are bones. Teaching you it's something different because it's coming out of your gums, where in your mind it gets disconnected. But when you see a skeleton, it has teeth. Teeth are bones, and your teeth are alive. Just like we just told you, bones are alive. That's why they grow. It isn't just your gum hurting. Your teeth are alive. They have live veins attached to them, what you call nerves. Your teeth are alive. You're being made to be crazy, thinking of your bones and teeth as dead and that you have a back. How come you don't have a front? How come the other side isn't called, hey, he hit me in my front. Stabbed me in the front. Stabbed me in the back. Yeah, right, okay. How many organs do you have? Can you name them? How many muscles do you have? Do you know them and know what they're used for? You don't even know how you move? And you call yourself trying to do something? How you going to do something without moving? And how you going to move? You don't know how. You're going to be raggedy, awkward. Oh, that's just the case, huh? Clumsy. All right. How many fluids are in you? Feel me? No, you can get the top ones, you know? Even though you don't know the names of it, pee. There's no fluid in you called pee. Okay? Now listen, I know you got blood. But the drug addicts are, they can tell you all about serotonin and all kind of stuff, all right? But listen, you need to know yourself. Remember I just told you need to start with the man in the mirror? It's a cute Michael Jackson song. Oh, I love that song. No, you don't. You love the song more than you love yourself? Because if you love that song, you be doing it. You wouldn't have said, I love that song. You say, you know something? I live by that song. I really do that. I've never heard nobody say that except me. So, you got to know thyself first. And that know thyself is not just know what the hell's going on in your head and what you're thinking. Know your body parts. Know your bones, your fluids, your organ. Know all of you. Know how fast your heart is beating. Know how fast you can run, how much you can lift, how far you can hear and see. Measure yourself instead of running around measuring everybody and everything else. Damn critics. That's not your job. And if it is, it won't be for long. You know how you hate the theme music from a show because you watch the show a lot and you want to hear it every time it comes on. So I'm just going to end this note and tell you it's the SBS, servants of all, the ones. And you know me. I'm the next CEO. Sigh, save yourself.